Yeah, it's from Sly, Sly 2, episode 5. It's actually just half the audio dialogue. Lace Fairy. It's not a good job in the speedrun. Close to a good split, but not quite out of pixie max. I should get more. The end cutscene for episode for the next split is longer, so I'll do it there. This was an okay split, like pretty good split. I should be ahead here, maybe even gold. Yeah, not gold, but I'll be ahead. It's calm gold? I think I got it earlier this stream. Might have been on German though. And you can't submit German golds as of now. I didn't pre-hold, god damn it.
Ein paar Höhlenmenschen tanzen. Ums Feuer herum, weißt du? Das wär's. Und bestimmt ist es kein Kaffeekränzchen.
I think yeah, it might have been in English actually. Oh yeah, my goal for that split was 0.05 off com gold before this session.
Noch immer nichts von Carmelita?
And then I golded this session, so it's, yeah, it's com gold. But it might be on German, like I said. See ya, Washalon. Thank you for the good luck.
Alles klar, Kumpel. Sieh an, wer hier mitmischt. Wieso überrascht mich nicht, dass er dabei ist?
Der Keule von Hippo. Hier solltest du vielleicht den Paragleiter einsetzen, Sly.
Not today. There's a weird momentum bug there. Happens consistently, so it's also one of the reasons why I don't like to do the jump strat there. I kind of like to just climb it normally.
Ganz meine Farbe.
Fantastisch, Sly.
Fantastisch. Okay. I meant to open parallel ladder, but I messed that
Genau
up.
so, Sly. Sly, du kannst mit dem Kostüm sogar aus der Ferne Gegner erledigen. Fixiere den Wa
Should I risk it? I was considering to try and go before it, but
Nein, das ist
Pepsi Max, yes.
Gefällige Schwanzumfang und demnach zu urteilen, ist dieser Höhlenwaschbär definitiv dein Vorfahre. Ich glaube, du hast den allerersten Cooper entdeckt.
Ich sehe zwar keine Ähnlichkeit, aber ich glaub dir mal, Bentley. Hey, Großer, was hältst du davon, wenn wir von hier abhauen? Nein, wir haben uns noch nie gesehen. Aber einer guten Quelle zufolge sind wir entfernte
Okay.
Verwandte. Was soll ich sagen?
This was an okay split. It's kind of hard to do like
Wie heißt du? Ich
know
heiße
how
Sly.
fast the end part
Sly
is.
Cooper. Und wie heißt du?
Because you always have to wait for those bubbles,
Okay.
and I feel
Dann nenn
like
ich dich einfach.
you'll always have to wait for those bubbles. So it's hard to tell like how fast can you actually go in that section.
Er hat recht, Sly. Ihr
Maybe
solltet
there's a pattern where everything
abhauen und
lines up
Meerwasser
perfectly
auftauchen.
that we don't know
Aus
about.
mir nach. Okay, dann eben auf deine Art.
Okay, 3 seconds from gold, not bad, I guess. I golded that last run, so that gold is definitely in German. I think I actually double golded it in German. I'm gonna have to like make sure I don't delete any of these episode 3 VODs, because eventually we'll settle on a on whether German should be on the Com Gold sheet or not, because German is, but per right now, German is the fastest, I believe. At least believed to be fastest, but the language work has never been, or has not been completed, so it's hard to know for sure. Yo, McCattle. See if I can. Okay. It's so easy to like go too early here, so I kind of have to like make sure that I don't pause too many times too early. So that's what I'll do, I think. If I keep doing that, is that I'll just take a chance or whatever. Like I'll adjust so that I go way later. Because when I do it once, I'm kind of trapped in the habit of doing so. So if I do it once, I'll do it like 3, 4, 5 times. So I just have to break it. Breaking the habit. Okay. Because I do think that an ICSS was always thought to be a frame perfect trick. And also I'm doing a frame perfect. I'm doing a trick per the cutscene here. But I feel like in this job it's a lot more lenient than the other ICSS in the run. ICSE, ICSSs in the run. So I think for some reason there might be like a 2 or even 3 frame trick in this job. It feels like a 3 frame trick. We have to press circle and start on at the same time. Give me 60 FPS. So it would make sense if it's like 4, but should we just try and double jump this? You can double jump this jump, but it's kind of... You fucking... This... The auto target is so broken in this. It's hard to remember like what direction you should run in, because you don't want to run in the wrong direction. And you can also run off the edge, and you have to restart checkpoint, because there's no damage plane down there for some reason. It doesn't go by how many penguins you miss, it goes by how many birds pass. Even though it's a picture of penguins, it can be a bit confusing, but it's actually counting how many ones you miss, I guess, or how many passes by. You don't want the quadruple wooden penguin thing. Guess it just wastes time, mate. But I guess it's better than hitting one, which also happens sometimes. So for some reason, this one you always hold, you have to hold right for. Basically, when you're going from left to right, you always hold left or up left or something, but for the last one you hold right. That was a good circle square mashing, but bad X mashing. So, let's see what minigames I get. It's supposed to be a bit RNG, because they don't take the same amount of time, but I haven't looked into which one takes longer, because I can't really manipulate it at all. And there's so many that you can't really like hope for one over another. This is the one I fail on purpose because I mean it still progresses the job, and I don't have to balance 20 penguins. Hey CJ. 33 months. Hula is actually not... Wait a second. Hula said he went for a walk like 2 hours ago. $33 months. How long is that? Let me think. So 24 is 2 years. 1 year is 12. Half year is 6. 2.5 plus 3. So 2 years and 3 quarters. Is it? I don't like left spawns, but I guess left spawns you don't have to worry about auto targets too much. 2 years, 9 months, yeah. Wait, isn't there an... I'm trying to think how like the badges are laid out. Because there are so many badges. If this is the last one, which it might be, I had to do an extra minigame last run. It isn't, okay. That's the last one, no? Rock? What? Am I silly? Time to save. So I got sub. I remember the day I got sub because it's a pretty special day. Or rather, it's almost a very special day for me as a Norwegian because it was May 18th, aka the day after Norwegian like Independence Day or whatever. Don't remember the year, but I guess we can do the math. 3 years ago? Or like 2017? I love the movement when it works out like that. A lot of the time you do you like miss it slightly, or I miss it slightly. And you kind of get like a slower landing or something, but not this time. So you're okay to miss one, but you do want to like combo them as much as possible. But there's 5 of them, and so if you can only kill 2 at a time, kind of when you pick one up and then throw it at another one. So you're sort of allowed to miss one, and it's still as fast as it can be, if that makes sense. And that was the best best beginning to the splits so far today. This split has been a little bit all over the place today. Pretty slow on average, I suppose. Wait, didn't I gold this last run actually, now that I think about it? Back-to-back cutscenes here. That was close to messing up. I go like an extra half step to the left there because there's like an awkward collision thing. So by going like half a step extra left, I make sure I don't get stuck on that, which otherwise happens too often. Yeah, this should be like a pretty good split.
Nothing but big piles of gold.
3-second gold, we take those. We take those. I can't think of one thing that went wrong there, so that was a good split. Best split so far this run, I think. I can tell that I'm getting tired though. Been live for 4 hours and 11 minutes. PB like 3-4 times. I've lost count. And now into the big RNG split. Let's see what happens. My PB golded here. It was a 3-second gold when I got it. I want outcome number 4. Let's see what I get. This is not outcome number 4. That is the best outcome, okay. Did you print the map you made? No, I have it in my head. Let's see, 4. This is 4, nice. If you're really lucky, the penguin comes running down towards me here. But he's kinda in a good spot. Okay. So you can spawn in either 1 or 5 here. Both are like decent. This is 1. Yeah, 1. Well, I say that 1 is decent. It's very like it saves a lot of time if the penguin comes running towards me, which it didn't do. Okay, if I don't get 4 here, I'll restart checkpoint again. That's not 4. This is 2. This one is good. Can we have... When there's 1 penguin left here, though, I don't like this one as much. I can have issues getting this one stuck. Let's see. Please. This is what I was afraid of. Having issues getting him stuck. No. The issue of having the same button do multiple things. Circle to stomp, circle to pick up the penguin. I hate it. This would have been a gold, but I just lost like 25 seconds on this last penguin.
Weißt du was? Ich hab total Hunger.
Und je schneller du die Teile herschaffst, desto schneller geht's essen.
Whatever. It's still good overall, or at least decent overall. I even said it when I was running towards the penguin, like, when there's only 1 penguin, then you get outcome number 2. It can be a bit awkward to get them stuck. And that's exactly what happened. Yes, I did indeed get outplayed by a penguin, K4. Slippery bastards. Please.
Datensysteme, check. Fallmunition, check.
Still a lot of best split time. I actually saved time on best split times. That was 14 and a half from gold. My gold is at 23, so that is... Let's say it's like 24 if you take away decimals, so... 38. 38 is not great, but a 30 is like a respectable time to get in a PB run. But I guess episode PB is kind of higher standards. Seems pretty short. It's not too long. Episode 1 is shorter. Episode 1 is like 40... Well, the world record is 43 minutes and 57. World record episode 2 is 56. Remo might beat it today, though. Who knows? It's Remo we're talking about here. Or maybe he already has. I don't know. Episode 3 is 49:20 something. He already... You see? And then episode 4 is a 50... Is it 52 or 51? I haven't looked into episode 4 yet, so I don't actually remember.
In den Felsspalten könnte ich den Eiern ausweichen.
Dude, what? Please? Okay, good.
Okay, Ohren auf.
Slide 2 is the best. Yep.
Mit Thermosicht könnte ich sehen, welche Wachen
Most
die
people
Schweine haben.
find 2 to be the best. Some find 3 to be better, but I like slide 2 the best myself. Okay, good. This one is going to be very awkward. Almost failed there. I need to just stand in place and wait for him. Actually, no.
Dieser Tür.
I thought he was. I thought the position was slightly different.
Ich schüttelst du nicht ab.
Okay. Weird stutter step, I guess. Why?
Das Stichwort
Looked
für
fun.
meine Pfeilarmbrust.
There was a new route for slide 3 that was just out. So I was like, I guess I'll try this route.
Ich kann nicht durch so viel Eis schießen. Ich glaube,
And the new
das
route
ist
was basically the
eine
first
Schwäche,
route for slide 3.
um sicher zu gehen.
And it wasn't that great either. It was refined later, but it's basically the same route we used. Nah, actually no. A lot of splits have been shuffled around.
Ja, die Treffer waren nicht sacht. Sorry, das Reimen ist ansteckend.
Eines Tages
I guess the essence is still the same.
der Griff zerquetscht den Schweinesohn.
Gold. Nice.
Nothing but big
Bit of an
piles
early
of gold.
pop from me, but... Grinding episodes can be a bit of a bait, because, like, your skill is improving so fast that if you grind... Okay, so if your skill is going up at a steadily pace, if you grind at this point in time, your PB is going to be at this level. But if you grind later, your PB is going to be at this level. So it's kind of like, if you grind while learning, and then you come back 2 months later, and you look at your PB, you do one run and you beat it. It's kind of like, oh, that was a lot of wasted time, right? But then again, the grinding made you better back in the first place. So it's kind of weird. It's like a middle ground. And then of course, speedrunning is individual, and some people don't learn that well from episode runs. Other learns very well from episode runs.
mach ein Vermögen. Ich bin nämlich genial.
Episode runs basically builds on a principle that is pretty key in like all of speedrunning, and it's called segment practice. Usually, though, it's done in a shorter segment, I guess.
Was? Du
Like in Zelda, like maybe one dungeon or maybe half a dungeon if you only do half in that visit, or sometimes you do like the last hour of the run or something. I mean, that's basically learning.
Hörst du das, Bentley?
Ja, klingt, als rede mit Le Paradox und es gäbe Ärger.
If you're learning how the jobs work, how to not mess up, how to etc.
Was machst du da? Wir brauchen den Code.
Like in episode 3 here, I've learned a lot about Starving Starving Hippo, and I've made like a slog plan.
Wir brauchen den Code.
And my general movement has gone up a lot. What has not gone up this time around is my consistency with dialogue skips. It's actually gone down, it feels like. But I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Got it. I've never gotten any dialogue skip yet on German, by the way. Battle plan, I suppose.
Ja, na mir egal. Hühner, Truthähne, Strauße. Ach, was weiß ich. Tu es einfach.
Actually, dialogue skip might save just as much on this one in German as in English because you restart checkpoint. I mean,
Bentley.
no, it would save even more actually.
Dimitri zu erreichen.
Willst du wirklich, dass Dimitri dich anruft?
Hast recht. Dumme Idee.
Hardest Sly game? It depends on hardest how. But I guess Sly one, yeah.
Sly, was machst du da?
One hit kill, and in the speedrun the tricks are kinda... Like for example, an average death in this game is like maybe 10 seconds lost, maybe even 5. In Sly 1 an average death is a lot more. In Sly 2 and 3 they're kinda like in the middle. It's like 15 seconds maybe. Maybe it's a small death, like 10. Maybe it's a big death, you lose a minute.
Also muss ich mich auch noch darum kümmern und du wirst deinen Finger. Ja. Ja, ja, ich schaff das schon. Was? Oh, warte. Diese blöden Funklöcher.
Klingt, als liefen die Geschäfte mit Le Paradox nicht so gut.
Carmelita proxy
Der Ärmste.
on Discord.
Tut mir richtig leid.
Ja, mir kommen die Tränen. Bleib dran, ich habe noch keinen Zugriff auf dein Handy.
To speedrun. Sly 1 is arguably easier now, any percent. With World 4 skip. Maybe not easier, per se. Because World 4 skip itself is hard, but you skip a lot of... Like, basically the more you skip, right, the easier the game gets to run. If the skips aren't very difficult. And World 4 skip is apparently very difficult, but like if you ask the runners if they were like to power rank the skips, they wouldn't put World 4 skip at the top.
Ich leg mich ins Zeug und zeig
Maybe.
diesem Wicht
Maybe they would.
auf Le Paradox.
But if you ask them in a year from now if they would power rank the skips, Sly 4 skip wouldn't be at the top. Sly 4, World 4 skip. I haven't gotten this even once in German. I'm sad. Has anyone gotten this in German?
Lass mich nicht hängen, sonst finde ich dich.
Sly 4 skip. Just don't play the game.
Angst vor dir? Angst macht einem nur dein Gestank.
Post more on YouTube. Don't have anything to post. I don't post small PBs, or like I don't. When I grind an episode, I only post the last, like the PB that I'm settling with. So, for example, every PB of this stream will not go to YouTube. But if I get another PB that is a 49, that one is going to YouTube. It could be this run maybe, but I didn't get any of these skips, so I just lost 22 seconds to go. 22, 22 and a half. Ish. It does mean that I save a couple of seconds to PB, because in my PB I missed both dialogue skips and actually messed up some menuing.
Jetzt mal im Klartext. Ich bin Künstler. Ich muss Gemälde malen.
I also think slide 2, like if you're...
Oben hin. Also,
Nah, if you... Okay, slide 2 any percent, slide 1 any percent.
komm ich durchs Handy und quetsche dir eigenhändig
Slide 1 any percent is probably harder to learn. But slide 2 any percent is probably harder to master. But then you have all keys and 100% for slide 1. And I think those are harder categories to run. That's just... I haven't ran them, but they look like harder categories to run for me.
Der Bär ist wohl entkommen, wa?
Carmelita, wie schön dich zu sehen.
Aha. Ich rede nur mit dir, weil ich
And I haven't tried them, so I don't know how they hold up. Like, I suspect Hundo is very difficult.
Sicherheitscodes und den Grundriss seines Bergstützpunkts.
Have you watched JoJo? No, I have not.
Danke.
gern
I've heard the opening songs though, and they are pretty, pretty cool.
Klar, ich wollte eh gerade zum Unterschlupf. Aber willst du es ihnen nicht lieber selbst geben?
Gute Idee. Immerhin bist du nicht sehr zuverlässig, nicht wahr?
Autsch. Also, sind wir...
Dude, my sum of best is
wieder-
fucking 49 flat. Are you kidding?
Übertreib's nicht,
Can I
Ringelschwanz.
goal the operation by like 1 second? If I goal the operation by 1 second, I get the 49 and I get the sub 49 sum of best. It would be perfect.
Ich hatte...
I have watched a bunch of anime, but I haven't watched JoJo. Okay, so like up left, yeah. I remember the movement here. Don't like it when there's a guard right there. Dude, I swear. The reason why I don't like to mash circle if there's a guard next to me is because I can easily start to pickpocket him after.
Okay, das ist...
It's kind of weird how the doors open like
Erst mit Mary.
okay, so mirrored camera. So like this door opens slightly before this door. So it's like
Wieso auch nicht?
Na,
like-
nicht, dass du dich erkältest oder so. In dem anderen Container.
Keine Angst, Ringelschwanz. Meine
How do I-
Schockpistole hält mich schon warm.
I actually have a highlight from this stream that I will post to YouTube. So if you didn't see it live, be on the lookout for that.
Hier muss ich raus.
Nice. Hey, Elite James, please. Okay. Thanks for the sub. Let me just get onto this thing and then I can look at chat. 33 months in a row. Thank you very much, man. You getting that? Sub. I went to Subway when I was in Oslo. How's run? This run is like pretty good. But, you know, lost time to RNG. Missed both dialogue skips. But, you know, it's episode 3. Alright, see you, Night Owl. Like aside from like the RNG or like if you aside from dialogue skips and Starving Hippo, this run is actually like really good. Not so good cycles. Worst cycles today actually. I'm a bit nervous going into the bob section because the bob section is the hardest part of the operation for me now. And it's always been, to be fair. It's coming up soon. It's not quite yet, but it's soon.
Gut, ich muss bloß zu diesem Vorsprung. Ich darf mich nur nicht von diesen Schlägen platt
I just hit myself. Are you kidding?
Ein neuer Job für die Sprengpfeile.
I've never hit myself there before. Okay, good. I actually think I hit this, like, the lizard that was so close to me. And then I was in the blast radius and I hit myself too. Okay, this is the big one, let's see. Bad time. This should be fine. It's gonna be kind of slow, but... First try. Low health, don't die now. No health drop. Okay, the cycles line up so that I don't take damage here. Inconsistent as fuck. I think that might be that your PS3 might be hot. I've always at least thought about that whenever I have inconsistent loads. That was close, mate. But there is gonna be a little bit of inconsistency in loads between days, but it's usually like consistent within the day. Like I've noticed that when I'm doing slide too, that sometimes I have a gold certain splits easier. Okay, now it's just a boss fight left. If I don't mess up the boss fight, this should PB. Are more random. They could be more random, yeah. But it also depends on which load it is, because some loads takes a lot longer than others. 24 when normal is 19. 19 sounds low to me. 25 sounds more normal. He did it! Okay, where are you facing? Do I have music? I don't have music. I've had music like every run today, but I guess not now. Like, I don't think about the fact that the music is gone. I only listen to it here and getting stronger. Oh, after selecting the safe house. Yeah, that sounds more... 23.7 sounds more like a expected value. Have you tried rebooting the game? Like what I would do if my loads were bad is that I would turn off my PS3, let it sit for like an hour, so do something else, play games or whatever, and then start again then. It's also good to take breaks when you're doing runs, especially grind heavy runs like episode runs. And basically the more annoyed you get, the more important it is that you take breaks. And in slide 2, there's a concept called additive load times. I don't think there's a thing in slide 4, but in slide 2, if you load consecutively without rebooting your game, your load times will increase gradually. And that's also the case in slide 3. And that's why, like, Remo had to take that into account when he routed all jobs, because he wants to have a tactical reboot of the game to reset additive load times. So he wants to have it like kind of like in the middle. At least not at the very beginning, because you have to do one when you do continue episode 6 glitch. So he had to route it out so that it's, you know, as optimal as possible. And the kind of idea was brought up when he sound locked once, and he kept going, and then he ended up golding like everything because he had faster loads. And then he was like, I think he already had the concept, or he already had it planned, but like, is it this impactful? Because he ended up golding his way back ahead from the sound lock, so he saved like 2 minutes gradually over like 2 hours. Even though he wasn't playing that much better, so. So the sound lock might have ended up like not losing time. I know. Dude. Okay, this has kind of become like a messy boss fight, but we'll see what the end time will be. It should be a 49, so that's probably good enough for now. If the penguin in Starving Hippo didn't fucking run around forever. I lost like 25 seconds to one penguin, I swear. And I called it beforehand as well. They're like, oh no. It's hard to trap here.
How does this happen to me?
Okay.
I made my mistake. Got nowhere to run. The run goes on as I reset the way. I'm sick of this life.
You were saying, Jürgen? No, but yes, German. 12-12 isn't even that bad. Like, 7.3 to gold or to PB, right? But that's a good gold that I got. So